I met a Gypsy.
That was probably one of the things that extended your career was how good you were at testing motorcycles. Like, especially, I'm sure the Sam Manuel years with Chad, like, I'm sure that there was a big part of you being on that program was like how much you had to offer to the motorcycle.
Yeah, I think early on with Mitch, really, I established myself as a guy.
Is that where you learned it?
Who could test? Yeah, because they tested everything: the good, the bad, the ugly. It didn't matter what it did on the dyno. We were still trying it on the track, and sometimes it was good,
Better.
Yeah. So I kind of established that, and you're absolutely right. Like if you took, me, Nate Ramsey, as a good test rider, finished about the same as Joe Blow over here, I was going to get the deal because I could also test. So it for sure gave me opportunities and extended my career. I wouldn't change anything. I mean, when I left Pro Circuit, the reason I left after winning a championship there was because Bob Moore, who was my agent at the time, was telling me the whole sport is going to go 4 strokes. Like, it's headed that direction. You need to get on board with it. You're older, and if you want to get extend your career a little bit, you need to be on the forefront of this. So that was some unbelievably good advice from Bob. And so I took the Yamaha of Troy 4-stroke deal when I had a Pro Circuit deal on the table, all because it was a 4-stroke. And that's what I believe Bobby. And I had to sit with Mitch and Bones and explain to them why I was leaving. And it was tough, but I just told them, look, if this sport's going 4 strokes, I need to be on the front of that wave, and I need to ride it as far as I can. I'm already older, and if it's an advantage, of course I want that. Like, if these first few years before everybody else gets keyed in on it, I have an advantage, I'll take that all day long. And they really couldn't argue any different. They were just like, we just never had anybody choose to leave after they won a championship with us. And so we always had respect for each other. So there was never any bad blood.
It wasn't like a bad blood thing. I never actually knew that was the reason why you left.
Yeah, exactly why.
That's a very smart call in the long run.
Well, again, I don't claim to be the smartest guy, trust me. And I just like good people. My parents were always very good at breaking things down and making decisions. Bundy, my mechanic, like just people around me, I was just blessed with good people that I could bounce things off of, and that's how I do it still to this day as a manager. I'm constantly like asking. It doesn't matter who you are. I might call you someday and go, "Hey, what do you think about this? Do you think this is crazy?" But I just like to collect the information and then try to make the best decision that I can with what I have.
Yeah, but you're also not giving yourself enough credit in that process too, though, because like you just don't get to be around good people for a long period of time if you're not also a very good person. So like, it's luck, but you've kind of made your own luck in that way too,
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, it's definitely you kind of reap what you sow a little bit. You cultivate the culture of what you're looking for. So yeah, I think you do put yourself around that. And if you're kind of someone who's drawn to trouble, you put yourself around people who get you in trouble, and you usually get in trouble. So yeah, there's some truth to that for sure.
So when you went to the 4-stroke, what was that like?
Man, it was weird. It was different. I mean, the one thing I was like right away, I'm like, this thing is so much easier to ride on a technical level. Like, you didn't have to be nearly as technical. I mean, I could come out of a corner in first gear, second gear, third gear, and fourth gear and do the same jump rhythm. It didn't matter.
That's so wild.
It's crazy. And of course, the torque, and I would always relate it to, like, when you drive a car, you never go like, and then, the power is so controlled, and that's the way a 4-stroke felt to me. And there was plenty of hurdles to go through with the new 4-strokes because I was on the forefront of all of that, right? So once I made that decision, I did the Yamaha 250. Then I ended up racing opposite coast on the 450, which was a 426 at first, and then a 450. I mean, there was oil still going through the frame. These things were heavy and weird to ride. But because I did that, I actually got the Honda deal for the brand new 450, right, from Honda, because they knew I had experience on a 4-stroke and had, debuted a couple of them now, and then got the 450 deal. And that went pretty well. And then I ended up breaking my femur in end of 2003 into 2002 going into 2003, struggled through the year. It took me forever to come back from that and get back up to kind of where I was. And then because I never pointed out of the little bike class or the lights or 250 class, whatever you want to call it, Honda was coming out with their 250F the next year.
Dude,
So
you just rode the wave at every step
it's crazy.
of the way.
It's crazy. It worked out with kind of what you
did work out.
What you planned, right? So, yeah, they wanted to debut their 250. So they're like, "Hey, don't take this as an insult. Just it's a side lateral step. We need you right here." And I was like, "Okay." I was never the chip on my shoulder, like, you guys are demoting me. It was like, "Hey, if you need me to do it, I'm happy to do it." So I did the 250F for them, and did that in 2004, and then again. Like KTM jumped on me pretty quick because they had a 254 stroke coming out, and Honda, at least what they told me was like, hey, we had every intention of keeping you, but the deal came together with KTM and they weren't ready. And now I know how many pieces got to come together before you can get to this certain guy, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot that needs to unfold, and then you're like, okay, then I can make a move on Nathan, So I debuted the KTM 250, and it was a very good bike. And then, ultimately ended with, I did the San Manuel thing for 2 years, and then I got a fill-in ride because the San Manuel thing kind of got the rug pulled out from under me. I thought I was going to race another year with them and then retire with that team and work with that team, and it didn't work out. And then I got a call from J-Bone, Jeremy Albrecht at JGR, and they needed a fill-in guy, and he talked me into going up there. So I got to do 2009, and I think I did 8 or 9 Supercrosses that year. And it was just nice going to Vegas knowing this is my last professional race, So got a little closure.
Weight off the shoulders.
Yeah,
and then you get to actually put a bookend on the career.
Yeah.
Because it would suck to go out in a weird way.
Well, I had broken both of my arms. Right? Yeah. I had broken both my arms and thought I was going to have to retire because of that, because I was numb and stuff like that. And then I came back and I
is that why you got the big scars on both of those?
Yes, yeah. Sort of. Some of them. There's some other injuries and things in there, but and then this one scar right here was, I had gotten fourth the weekend before. I think it might have been St. Louis, and then we were in Seattle, and a guy landed on me. I had a bad start, and he landed on me, and it wasn't broken. It just blew a hole in my arm, and I had gotten fourth, so we were moving into the next year where I needed a new contract, and I thought, okay, I missed the last 2 rounds and thought I was secure, and didn't try for anything else because I was locked in just to be with them. And
which team was that at?
That was the San Manuel
team.
San
Manuel, yeah.
And so when I got that call from Jeremy to go, fill in for JGR, I was just like, man, I was always the guy who said, when I'm done, I'm done. I'm not going to be the guy who comes
just
back and makes it. And he said to me, I told him this a couple weeks ago, the thing that got me was, he was like, you know what? I don't even know why you're stressing. Just come and ride the bike. And if you don't feel good, don't go race. It's super easy. Come ride. See how you feel. If you feel good, let's go race. We'll have a good time. I just need you to make the main event. And I was like, all right. I'm on a flight. Something crazy about that, too. And I'll try to speed this up. But I get on the flight, and I'm going there to do a fill-in ride for JGR, which is Joe Gibbs Racing. And I sit down, and I'm sitting by this, it was a brother and a sister, and the girl's kind of looking at me, and I'm kind of noticing, and finally she goes, are you Nathan? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I was on the dance team with your wife, Monica. So she went to high school with my wife, Monica, and they were next door neighbors to Joe Gibbs and his family in California.
What?
And I'm like, I don't know, I can't remember how it all came up, but I'm like, I'm literally going to see him right now. And it was kind of like a sign in my head, or, I was like, I must be supposed to do this. So I got there, I rode 3 days, and I was like, I feel pretty good, I'm having fun, let's go race. And we did.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.